What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Guys of Texas podcast, episode 9. How is everybody doing?
Doing good,
Doing
doing
good,
good.
man.
Good.
Running around trying to make it happen.
Bro, it honestly feels like this game just was 3 weeks ago now. There's been a lot that's happened since,
Yeah.
and so I was like, wait, when did Houston play? It was like 4 days ago. Oh, okay, all right. We're recording this on Tuesday, so Wednesday. What day is it?
It's Wednesday, right?
Oh,
please
yikes.
please tell me it's Wednesday.
Listen, I hope it's Wednesday. So,
It's been a
yeah,
weird
that's
week.
kind of how my week has been right now. It's quite bonkers. But I just want to kind of go over the Texas Houston game, and just kind of break it down a little bit. It was quite interesting. First quarter, everybody looked great. Quinn looked very good. Drove down the field. Two different times, pass play in the corner end zone for Mitchell, and then a dime piece of a throw to Worthy on the next drive. All of a sudden, hey, we're throwing the ball deep, and here we go. Just as the second quarter, a few minutes after the second quarter started, Red runs in for a touchdown, and we're off to the races, and here comes the blowout.
I was ready to call it, man. I was like tuning out for other stuff.
That's what I was. We're talking about fantasy football. Like it was like, and you look back at the screen, you're like, Houston drives down 2 long passes, and this is the point where I went, oh, we didn't learn anything with OU. We're just playing a full prevent defense, sitting 3 guys in the middle zone, and we just got picked apart by 2 long passes, and here we go. Texas next drive, 4th and 6. We decide to let Auburn try and run the ball. Sark just started breaking out all kinds of plays, and I didn't really get it. Houston took over on downs, and this is the full reenactment of the last drive of the Texas OU game. I mean, this was just straight. Our defense is just going to sit back and just let you pick us apart. Like it was bad. So the second quarter did not go so well. 21-14 at the end of the half there. This is where I went, uh-oh. Third quarter, golden touchdown, tie at 21-21, right as they come back. Defense starts to step up a little bit after that. Ford gets the turnover with the fumble, starts to bring a little bit of life back. Texas starts to drive, and Ewers just decides, I'm just never going to slide ever, and takes the big hit and stays in the game. But then you saw on the last couple of plays that he had that they're just the throws that he had went, what was that? And then all of a sudden, here comes Maliik Murphy. So if you don't know now, Quinn's out for a little while, and Maliik is now the guy. So that's where it started. After that, Maliik comes in. They just basically hand the ball off. It was kind of a rhythm thing to get Murphy kind of in the game for that first drive. They punt the ball. Houston next drive, they go down the field with yet again broken coverage. Secondary cannot tackle, and here we are again. It seems like every week we decide to just give up broken tackles. Houston kicks a field goal from that to tie it up, and then next drive, Brooks and Baxter look very good. It was basically the Brooks and Baxter show on that drive. Baxter finally breaks free, runs for the touchdown. He looked good at that end. But then the last drive, Houston wasn't done. Texas had to come up with a big stop. Third down. Texas holds them. I do not care that they missed the spot. You missed the hold too. So it would have been half dozen the other. So they missed the hold. They missed and by the way, there was on our 4th and 2 play, there was pass interference. Like it's clear as day pass interference, and should have been called. There were holds all over the place on a lot of their deep balls. They had a lot of holdings, so it is what it is. Texas comes out with the win, makes the big last stop on fourth down, wins 31-24. But are we in panic mode yet?
I'd say more pissed off.
Yeah. What did you guys take from the game?
Our defense doesn't know how to protect against a slant. I mean, I feel like it's a blueprint that's just been given to everybody that we are not countering for at all. Like it looks so easy to pick us apart on those, and like there's been no adjustment. There's been nothing, and I'm really scared to see what BYU does because it seems like they run that a lot and they got big players. So I don't know. Sark always talks about all the prep that they're doing during the week and all the game planning, but then like you step on the field and like I'm not seeing a change. I'm not seeing a difference, and I don't know.
I saw a little bit of change with the offensive side, but the defensive side we just did not see a change. And the secondary, we did nothing but praise them the first 4 or 5 weeks. They're gonna be the real deal. This defense is great. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, because number one, you can't tackle. Number two, you can't run alongside a fast wide receiver, and you can't cover. Like there's broken coverages all over the place, even in the linebacker position. There's broken coverage when we're playing this zone, and so I don't know what to make of it yet. But there's got to be something drastic that changes next week.
Yeah, I mean, it was super frustrating game to watch. I mean, the first quarter, like I said, we hopped out. It just seemed like it was going to be like our projections, a 48-14 type game or something like that. And then it's like, dude, ever since that fake field goal, which I hate fake field goals in general because your least athletic player on the roster should not be running the football.
Yep.
And if it would have worked, I still would have knocked him for it. It's not what was needed in that moment. And we lost momentum at that point, and honestly, we never got it back the entire game. I mean, that totally changed the whole outcome of the game. I just don't know what he was thinking in that. And then defensive wise, I mean, you're coming off a bye week, off of a really hard loss, and I expected the defense to come in and be angry and look stout. And dude, we got torn apart, like absolutely torn apart. 378 yards, and if you look at their wide receivers, their longs, 32 yards, 35 yards, 51 yards, 17 yards. I mean, that's 4 or 5 different receivers that had 15 plus yards catch. I mean, dude, that's just inexcusable for this defense. I mean, our rush defense looked good. Houston didn't really rush the ball much, though. But man, this is one of those games that I really felt like we were going to come out of this bye week and look like we have been coached up for 2 weeks, and it wasn't the case at all. So I'm kind of scratching my head here a little bit going forward, especially with this secondary. I don't know what they're doing, just kind of sitting back there, like you said, in that cover two, we're laying off people 15 yards, just kind of giving them that drag route across the middle. It's confusing what's going on right now.
It's also shocking to me as far as the offense goes. Like the first quarter, our mid-range or deep ball, like we looked like we were finally making it click. And the rest of the entire game, like were they just shut down corners? Like we didn't do anything beyond like 10 yards after the first quarter. And I just can't imagine that AD and Worthy and all the talent that's there can't get open. Like what are we scheming for that?
I think a little bit of that would have been Maliik coming in and then Sark just wanting to control the game as much as possible there. But
yeah, I understand once Maliik comes in later in the third, like was almost like 3 minutes left in the third when that happened.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was
yeah.
the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even with Quinn, I mean, like you said, the offense, like we look like a completely different game plan in those first couple of drives. I mean, we were slinging the ball around, attempting some deep passes. And it's like all of a sudden when we got up 21-0, they were like force feeding Brooks the ball. I mean, force feeding a run game. Like I felt like there was still a chance to kind of have some kind of balance there, but I don't know if he just got content with us being up 21-0 and thought this was going to be a game that we could just kind of coast through. It's just kind of confusing the mindset of the coaches.
Yeah, but I feel like we've been asking for that. Like, I feel like we've been asking for that run game of like when we start getting up, like, hey, how about we continue to run the ball a little bit? Let's get that game going. So that for me, that's kind of hard because I feel like yeah, we need to blow them out. But once you're up 21-0 in
Yeah.
that second quarter, it's like, okay, well, let's just kill this clock and then get out unscathed, put up a couple more touchdowns and get out, because defense at that point looked good. But then once the second quarter came around, it was like, okay. And then it was like you couldn't flip the switch back around once we started tying,
Yeah,
once we started
exactly.
tying the game. Like you couldn't flip the switch back on. So that was, I think, the hard part. Was figuring out that balance. And honestly, I think this game, now this is not a hot seat thing, but I think this
Mhm.
one was on Sark. Like
Yeah.
I think he's this game solely was on him with the play calls this week. I think he learns from it, but or I hope he does, because it was basically the same thing we saw against Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and so now it's like, okay,
It's frustrating because the motto, all
Yeah.
gas, no brakes. And come on, dude, you stomped on the brakes being up 21-0. You changed your whole game plan. I feel like we had them where we wanted them, and poor play calling, the fake field goal is just really what pissed me off, dude.
I think the problem is with his all gas no brakes is the fact that we are in 2023 and it is a global warming type situation. So sometimes we got to switch to electric. Like sometimes it has to happen. So that's got to
Yeah.
be. He's just trying to be new age and make sure
Yeah.
to help the environment. That's all it really is.
PC, man.
I mean, I think it was Seth that actually said it, that we were going to see Maliik in this game.
Yeah. Well.
Not quite how we expected
Yeah.
it to
Yeah,
be,
Yeah.
not
but
how I wanted it.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
there's a lot of learning things from it. I feel like you can take a lot from this game. I feel like if we play pretty much anybody else other than Houston, that's a loss. With the way we were playing, I think we got lucky that Houston was the one that we played like this against. But man, it's hard to find positives to take away from this game, honestly. But Maliik coming in and leading us on that drive, that was big. Like you said, it was a very like up tempo drive. Relied heavily on Brooks and Baxter, but man, Maliik is a big dude back there. Like when he came on the TV, I was like, holy crap, dude.
yeah.
I just every time I see him on the field, he's a monster. I mean, he made Brooks look small.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see him get a chance. We've all talked about him for a long time, and I've been really high on him ever since he signed with the program. So I'm excited that he gets a chance, because this is his kind of chance to prove himself. For either, it's a hard situation for him at Texas. I hope he stays, but it kind of feels like this is a preview for some other teams that obviously they're looking
Is
at him at
is
transfer.
this a Tua Hurt situation?
Yeah, that's
You
that's
know,
it.
it's kind of one of
Yeah.
those. He's stuck around for this long. Do you just ride him and say, "Hey, Quinn, sorry about your bad luck. Like,
I mean,
we
if he
got a hot
balls
hand
out,
now."
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm interested in. And I can tell you what I don't want is Malik to come out and have one bad half at the
oh,
start
no,
and everyone go,
I
"Bring
know.
in Manning." I swear, I'll promise you, if I see you on Twitter doing that, I will dominate you.
Oh, there's gonna be so many of them.
It's someone on Twitter the other yesterday was saying that Texas needs to test Shark for alcohol. It's like, okay, man, like what? Like, calm down. We've lost one game still. We're
Oh,
still. We just got Wingo, by the way.
Oh yeah,
If you haven't heard, Wingo decided to come to Texas after all week. We heard, oh well, he's going to go to Missouri. Sorry, Texas. And today he just announces, hey,
damn,
I'm
what a
coming,
shocker.
dude.
I'm
That's
excited
wild.
about that guy. I didn't realize how big he was. I started diving into him today. I always thought of him as like a small slot receiver. I didn't realize he's like 6'2", 230 or something like that.
Calvin
Dude's
Johnson
got
style.
speed too.
yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
why I
gonna
had it
be
in my head
huge.
that he was so small guy, but I'm excited about him.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. But so Malik's gonna come in. I I think he turns it on. He's got a better
Hope
arm than
so.
Ewers does, in my
Dude, he's got a
opinion.
cannon,
Yeah,
man. I
we
hope
saw
they
him.
test the
We saw him in
field
the
just to
scrimmage,
test it.
dude.
We're about to figure out how fast Worthy and Mitchell can run, because that man's about
For
to
sure.
bomb it. Like that's what we're going to see a difference of, and teams are going to have to play against that, and they're going to adjust for it, and then that's when we start running the ball, playing in the slot. Like that's when we really start doing that. So we're about to see number one, We need to see what Malik can do because we haven't really seen him play yet. But if he starts throwing that deep ball, look out. He may not ever give up that spot again. Because I'll tell you, I saw Quan Cosby before the season started, and it was back kind of it was actually more in like June. And I asked him, I was like, so is it Malik or is it Quinn? He goes, it's Quinn's. But if Quinn ever got hurt, he ain't Malik ain't letting it up. I was like, he goes, Malik is that good. So now that was a couple months before the season started, but that was a conversation that was had, and so we're about to see what Malik's made of. The man has stuck it out here, um, and he deserves it more than anything. I feel
Yeah.
bad for Quinn, but next man up at this point.
Yeah, I mean it's tough situation for Quinn. You never want to see him go down, especially the kind of year he's having. Quinn really has turned the corner this year. He's looked way more efficient all around, and I've been happy with him all year. But man, our quarterback room is just ridiculous. I mean, Malik's starting at most Power Five teams in the country. So to have a guy like Malik that we can fall back on, I'm confident in him. I know this game was a little shaky for us. Maybe it was kind of the gritty game we needed, but I'm still extremely confident going forward with Malik at the helm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. It's going to make for an interesting spring narrative. I mean, if he does well, it's just going to drive that battle so much more in the public narrative.
Yeah,
I've already been getting our buddy Jaron was texting me on Saturday, already asking if Arch was going to go in. We've had a running bet
Yeah.
that Arch wasn't going to get a start this season, so I feel like everybody's already chirping about it. I hope Malik comes in and really just calms it down. I mean, Sark's got to be game planning something for him to get him steady and just first reads, dump it off. But I'm excited to see what he does. I was going to say the other compliment that I wanted to give to the offense was Baxter finally looked like the prospect that everybody said he was supposed to be. This is the first time I've watched him run and feel like he was running behind his pads, not getting caught from behind and slashing down. Like he actually looked good, and I was really excited to see it.
he was just decisive with his decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like so many times this year we saw him kind of just happy feet back there before he would hit the hole, especially on that game-winning touchdown. He hit that hole, and man, he was gone. So yeah, for sure. If you want to look at bright spots, that was fun to see. I'm hoping that they give Malik some kind of option plays, kind of those read option plays, because I'd love to see Malik run the ball a little bit with how big he is.
Yeah.
So then we got BYU coming up. We're still on ESPN matchup predictor at 94.9% to win that. So
Jeez.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
It's astounding to me. Man, Brooks is 825 yards right now. That's wild. Like it's a stout current season right now.
How many total?
825.
Okay, nice. Sark gets his 1,000-yard back every year, man.
Yep. Oh, and then if Baxter starts picking it up the way he is right now, man, it could be a whole different game.
Yeah, how do y'all feel about that? I mean, I really haven't watched BYU play this year, but I did. I mean, obviously, I've kept up with their scores every week with them being in the Big 12 now. But like last week, I know they created 5 turnovers against Tech. It seems like their offense has been decently consistent all year, but at the same time, I mean, they created 5 turnovers, only had 27 points. So it's just kind of an interesting team that I don't really know a whole lot about, but I know our track record with BYU is not great.
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous about this game, to be honest. I'm shocked that the ESPN game predictor has us favored by that much or whatever.
Yeah.
I think this is especially with our quarterback situation, I think this is a very dangerous game. I've kind of been watching BYU a little bit from the distance this season, and the way that they played Arkansas, and the way they played Kansas, they've been really competitive in some games, similar competition to see how we played Kansas, and
yeah,
they could definitely be a thorn in our side.
They beat Arkansas.
I thought they lost by 2.
38-31.
Okay.
Yeah, they beat Arkansas in Fayetteville.
Yeah,
they beat.
So they're not going to be intimidated coming on the road whatsoever.
No. but they lost to TCU 44-11.
I know.
That
That's what I'm
was
saying. It's such a
shocking.
strange team.
Huh?
I mean, if you look at their rushing attack, Martin, kid from El Paso, I mean, he's had 96 carries for 438, and he's the only rusher that they have over 100 yards throughout the whole entire season. So, I mean, obviously, he's going to be one getting the carries. And then you look at their quarterback, I mean, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, his numbers are pretty decent too. So, it looks like they spread the ball around. They got a tight end that's one of their leading receivers. So it's going to be a tricky game, man. I think BYU is going to be a decent opponent, obviously, but this is an interesting game because I don't really know how we're going to look with Maliik coming out. You know, there's a lot of question marks coming into this one for sure. I feel a lot more confident with Quinn, obviously, because we kind of had a groove of what works, but it's exciting, but at the same time, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Seth,
sure.
you going to the game?
I am, yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
Got tickets with Zach.
Nice. Yeah, we'll be having dinner that night and then watching the World Series. If you haven't heard, the Rangers are going to the World Series, so shocking. But yeah, we'll be watching. We'll probably end up just going to the house early and watching the Texas game before dinner. But it's gonna be, at least it's at home. That's all I can say is at least it's home.
Absolutely.
Texas fans are going to have to show up to that one because we're going to need all hands on deck. And you know, it's funny.
Texas fans.
Yeah, all of them.
Talking to you.
Listen. I already had pre-plans. I would go, but we already had to cancel this dinner once. The family wants to make Chick-fil-A. I don't know what to tell you. They want to try and recreate all the Chick-fil-A stuff. So, I mean, you tell me that's going to happen. You can't deny the Lord's chicken. So, so yeah, we're doing that. But the game is everyone at the game is going to have to be loud. It's going to be. Oh wait, isn't it supposed to be very rainy this weekend too?
Yeah, it is.
There's a chance, which I feel like may actually benefit us. To be honest with you, if other teams can't throw the ball on us,
run the ball. Like, yep. And we got the runners. So,
jumping the gun a little bit. But what's y'all's projections on this one? And I know we usually go a little bit later, but we're already on the topic, so.
I'm gonna go Rangers in 5. I'm gonna go, if it's a rain game, 31-14.
31-14.
I'm gonna go 24.
24 who?
Texas 17.
Oh my. No, dude, you've got no faith in Maliik whatsoever.
I think we're going to win. I think it's going to be a struggle. I think it's going to be a big struggle. I've been predicting stuff ridiculous, like 53 points last weekend or whatever. So I'm going to calm it down, and I'd love to be wrong.
The reverse jinx. Got it.
Yeah.
Let me write it down real quick, Seth. What did you say again?
24-17.
24-17.
31-14.
31-14. I'll take Texas in this one. 34-21. I think it's close. I think it's close throughout. I think it's something we pull away late with just depth. I think depth is going to get to them. I think we're going to rush the ball a lot. So I think we wear them down over the game and find a way to pull out at the end there. So I'll take 34-21.
You know, last week's game was really funny because we all went into that game very, very excited because we just watched OU and their pink little dresses and stuff on the sidelines almost get beat. And what sucks is we can't root for them to lose, but that was the closest we can get to it because they need to win in order for us to meet them in the Big 12 and take care of business again there. But so we get all excited, and then all of a sudden it was like, wait, we're gonna need to win this game. Like, let's now worry about this. So
yeah, it's a gut check for sure. And then if you look at the Big 12 standings too, I mean, Iowa State's still sitting there 3-1, Oklahoma State 3-1, Kansas State's 3-1. I mean, if we stump our toe, you know, there's a lot of other teams that may not have the overall record we have, but conference wise, they're sitting right there ready to strike. So
yep.
we can't afford to lose a game.
No, we can't. I mean, we play all those teams. I mean, Kansas
Right.
State, Iowa State, TCU, Tech. Like the last four are going to be. I mean, we're going to have to rely on Maliik and hope he shows up because luckily the next two are at home. But then you go to TCU. TCU is not fun to play at
No.
TCU.
Yeah.
Iowa State at Iowa State, and then you've got the revenge game of saying goodbye to the Big 12 against Texas Tech. So we've got a lot of work to do. Let's just say that.
It looks a lot scarier now that we don't have Quinn. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
after K State, we're just
Yeah.
we're golden. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, these.
Yeah, now it's like our moods have completely changed. We're like, all
Yeah.
right, fine, let's just win through this. Let's blow them out. Now it's like, what games you got this week? What are it's really kind of a boring week. It looks like. I mean, you got Duke, Louisville, Kentucky, Tennessee. I think might be a decent game.
We would have
Wisconsin-
killed for this much football 6 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago.
I know. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
be
yeah,
happy.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
there's some decent matchups.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm in baseball mode. Okay, I'm trying my hardest to stay in this. Right.
I need football TJ back.
Listen,
Soon.
it's,
About a week. About a
you're
week.
guaranteed in a week and a half to have football TJ back. Actually, I don't know. I may take another week depending
Yeah,
on how
there's
this World
going to be a
Series goes,
hangover
but-
either way that goes.
Yeah. I have went all in there. But just so everyone knows, if you want to hear Ranger baseball, I am going to record a separate off the rails kind of break down the World Series, talk about the trashy Astros and how we just put Dusty Baker in a home. So if you want to watch that, I'm going to record an off the rails podcast for you guys, and we'll break down the World Series. Holy, I still can't get used to saying that, dude. That's so.
You got your Diamondbacks, man.
Yeah, I did. We
Yeah.
we got flights. We booked our flights yesterday, going to Game 4 and 5 in Arizona. So, I am praying. Ironically enough, me and my dad have been talking about this for like 2 weeks, ever since we saw who was playing in Philly and Arizona, and we were like, it might be better to go to Arizona because, by the way, flights were $75 round trip. So
That's awesome.
Nice.
yeah, so it's gonna be a good time.
Dude, I really did not believe the Diamondbacks would do it, but I'm happy for you that it worked out.
I can't believe. I mean, I didn't want to really go to Philly. The difference is, it's just because I wanted to go to an away game, and Philly I just couldn't do. Philly that's just a different animal. But Arizona, the problem is Arizona's pretty good. They're young too. I mean, Arizona 2 years ago had 110 losses. Rangers had 102 losses 2 years ago. Bannister is on the coaching staff for the Diamondbacks. Like, there's a lot of like different aspects involved in that. But you see, I didn't listen. I tried to get off this topic, and you started this. Okay, I wanted to tease it and then get off of it.
It's a little sneak peek. A little sneak peek off the rails.
I mean, real game, Utah, Oregon. I think.
Yeah, this is a main game.
Don't know. I mean, Oregon last week got tested against Washington State. I actually,
Yeah, I was
Yeah, I
kind of
think-
going over last week, kind of touching back up again over last week's games. I mean, there were some interesting games for sure last week where you kind of thought, I don't know if y'all saw that Washington game, but
Yes.
Washington won 15-7.
yeah, Borfest.
Yeah, I mean, from a Penix, a guy that's supposed to be, like front runner Heisman, had a horrible game, and they had to rely on their defense to, I think it was a 90-yard interception return for a touchdown. Arizona State was about to go in and extend their lead, I think, at that point. Some bizarre games happened for sure. Utah over USC. Caleb Williams.
love that.
Yeah.
Bro, have you seen all these stories about Caleb Williams where they're just like, yeah, he probably just needs to not play the rest of the year and just go
I was
into the
about to say
draft.
that.
It's like,
It was
what?
Emmanuel Acho that said that.
Yeah, it's like, what, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, he's got nothing to play for, is what they're saying. It's too much of a liability. I'm like, dude, he's got like a lot of money
making
coming
millions.
to him. He's got a lot of money coming to him. I could get this argument pre
Yeah.
NIL deals for sure, but yeah, dude, you're getting paid pretty well to be there. Also, what's going on with Lincoln, dude? Is Lincoln Riley like sticking around there in USC, or is he about to bounce to an NFL team? I've been reading that
To
potentially.
who?
I don't know who, but apparently
Houston?
Yeah, no, we're
I mean,
good.
supposedly
We're
he's been
good.
sick. Is there like a different narrative out there?
Oh.
I haven't heard this. He's missed like 3 practices, and they're like talking about appointing Kingsbury as interim head coach because he's like sick and having to like deal with some medical stuff. I read this yesterday.
I was going to say I've read that he's been sick, but I've read multiple stories that are claiming that he's going to be out of USC sooner rather than later.
What?
How wild would that be that he just pulled all those Oklahoma players and then just
Which I don't see it happening. I feel like he's only been there. What? This is his second year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You do have Caleb Williams as your quarterback, and you have 2 losses on the season already. So, I mean, I get that the expectations. He's not meeting expectations so far, and I feel like OU fans have got to be laughing at this point.
Well, you think that has to do with next year's move? Because they're all moving out of the Pac-12. Like, I wonder if that has something to do with it, where he's like, well, now I got to go play Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. Like, that may have something to do with it.
That's part of the reason why I kind of thought he went to USC. With them moving to the SEC, I was like, oh, so he thinks he can go out to the Pac-12, play that high-power offense, and dominate out there instead of joining the SEC. But then, he got there, and that just went to crap real quick. So, I mean, he may be looking for an exit plan, but I would be so shocked, man. I would.
If it was this year, yeah, I'd be shocked. I mean, I think he would at least stay another year. But I keep reading stuff about him wanting to go to the NFL.
Yeah,
so
those rumors were the entire time he was at Oklahoma too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Online it says he has pneumonia.
Hmm.
So, I don't know.
There was a pretty big upset this last week. Old Mac Brown.
Yeah.
That was a tough one for them, man. Virginia beating North Carolina at home 31-27.
Yeah. Dude, that was so shocking.
That was the most.
They were a 23.5-point favorite.
Nuts.
That's wild. I know because I picked them to win with the points.
Oof.
Speaking
and
of
there
which,
was also, did y'all see the sorry, I'm just gonna jump in here real quick because I thought that was funny. The lowest over under in college football since I believe it was like 2009 or something like that, Iowa, Minnesota. They had it set at 30 points. And the final score of that game was 12 to 10. 12 to 10.
22 points.
At 22 points. I just had to throw that one in there because I saw them talking about it on BR Betting. They were like,
what did they? There's no way. What was Air Force Navy's spread? There's no way that was.
Yeah, I wonder on that one too.
Because they scored 23 points. They went 1 point bigger. I don't see the spread on it though. Over under 34. Wow.
So that one was even higher.
Wow. That's wild. Well, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Congratulations, Jono, for getting that monkey off your back and going 3-0 this week. Congratulations.
Nice.
Welcome to winning.
I'm ready to ruin it this week.
Yeah. Seth went 1-2. I went 1-2. So now it's 7-6-1 for Seth and I, and Jono's at 5-9. So clawing back up.
Don't count him out.
Yeah,
hanging around
away from catching up there. That being said, what do you guys have this week for picks?
All right, I feel like I typically go first on this, so I'm going to take Kentucky over Tennessee straight up. Kentucky's at home. Tennessee, can't trust them. I don't really know how to feel about them after they lost to Alabama. Are they going to be down? Are they going to be up? I don't know, but I'm still going to take Kentucky. I think it'll be fun, and they got a good shot at it. I'm going to take Colorado to cover. It's a 17-point spread, and I just don't think they're going to let the league get that far ahead of them. So I'll take Colorado. And then I'm taking Kansas to cover the spread over Oklahoma. It's a 10-point spread. And, yeah, I think Kansas hangs with them. I mean, I don't know. Hangs with them, but, yeah, Oklahoma's only going to win by 3.
I'm going to tell you this right now. This is the one that I'm want to pick Kansas money line. Like,
Yeah, I was with you on that one.
Unfortunately, but I can't just because I need Oklahoma to win. But I think Kansas may win this
That's
game.
what I was just processing as I was
Yes.
saying it. But, yeah.
Yeah,
I want Kansas to win, but I can't have it.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, Jono, what you got?
I'll start out with my first one. I got Tennessee to cover on that one. I'm going to go opposite of Seth here and say Tennessee to cover with that 4 points. I think they bounce back after losing to Alabama. Same thing you said about Tennessee. I don't trust Kentucky. I don't know how they're going to come out and play. You never know. Both teams are kind of a mystery. You don't know. But I'm going to take West Virginia over UCF. UCF, I believe, is a 4 or 5 point favorite. I'd have to look it back up, but they're a favorite in that one. I'll take West Virginia.
Dude, UCF looked pretty good last week.
Yeah, they did.
They are a 7-point favorite.
Okay, I'll take that one, and then my last one. It's tough, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Florida to cover. They're 14.5 point dogs to the Dogs in that rivalry game. I feel like it's one of those games, neutral site. It's a tight game. We don't know much about Georgia as far as getting in those tight games. I mean, I feel like they get to the tight games and then they pull away at half, but this is one of those rivalry games that I could see being interesting. It's a long shot, but I'm going to say that it's a touchdown or 10-point game for Georgia.
I mean, Georgia doesn't have their safety blanket this week, or for the next
that's what I'm saying.
3 or 4 weeks. So.
That's what I'm saying. With a young quarterback, rivalry game, it's gonna be tough.
I'm excited.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm taking Florida to win the game.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm not even taking points.
Dang.
I'm taking Florida to win the game. You guys
I like
wanted
it.
it.
I want
I'm
it.
going to give
yeah.
it to you. It's all upsets. All upsets this week, boys.
I love it.
I'm also taking Vanderbilt to cover Ole Miss 24.5.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at that one too. That's an interesting game.
And then my last one, I'm going to go let's see here. There was one that I'm going Wisconsin to beat Ohio State.
Oh man.
Are you not trying to win this game anymore?
It's bro. Let me win. Okay.
That stadium's tough, man. Night game in Wisconsin. That's an interesting pick.
Which one do you want, dude? Which one do you want? You want me to pick big games with big spreads, or do you want me to just go balls to the wall? Okay.
I like this pick. I mean, I like
it.
What you're doing here.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I was thinking like one upset and then two, big spreads. I thought that's where you're going to go with.
No,
You really
sick of it. I'm balls. Listen, I am.
Not just La La Land over here.
I'm in that mode right now to where I am just on cloud 9. So I'm all in here.
I mean, I love your first 2 picks. The last one, I hope you win, but that's.
I actually think the Wisconsin one is more realistic than the Florida one.
Okay.
So if I had to choose one of the 2 upsets,
that's all it is.
You've been planting seeds.
This is weeks of preparation. That
your moral victory of winning nothing is really catching up. I'm enjoying this. Let's review real quick. So conference champions right now. Let's just review that real fast. SEC, Seth, you have Georgia. Johnny, you have LSU. I have Georgia. Big 12. Big 12 across the board, Texas. Big 10, Penn State, Ohio State, and I have Michigan.
We're still alive.
Pac-12. I don't have actually what you two picked, or I have mine as UCLA, but I don't know what y'all picked.
I'm pretty certain I picked Washington.
Well, that was Oregon.
That's okay. Let me fix that. And then Louisville, Seth is Louisville, and then we're both UNC. So that, yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking too hot right now.
Not looking hot,
What
but
were we
everything's
doing
still
on
in
the
play here.
ACC? Like, why did
I
we?
don't
Were we
know.
just hating on them that day?
I don't know. I guess so. Like it was just
On Florida State.
Yeah,
Is that what you said? Yeah, I think we were just like, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose.
Out of everybody, we picked UNC and Louisville.
I'm pretty sure it's the Mac Brown effect. It's just kind of one of those, like, it's ingrained in us. We're just like, oh, Mac Brown. So, okay. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, we didn't touch on Michigan at all. What do you guys think about that whole thing?
The scandal.
Scandal.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Now that I see everything that's come out, everyone does the exact same thing. They're not recording. They're not. I mean, it's now. Is it stupid to like get caught? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But this isn't like this isn't like the Houston cheating Astros videotaping and using signals and technology to actually send the play calls and all that in. This is literally just so they're not videotaping the guys.
Is that exactly what they just did?
No. So in baseball, so let me just back up. Baseball, you can steal signals and you can relay those signals as a player on base. Sometimes coaches will do it, but what they're literally doing is telling them what pitch they're about to throw, which is because if there's not a runner on base, you don't hide those signals that the catcher throws. It's just this your fastball.
Yeah.
Like you don't hide them when somebody's on base. So I feel like I froze. Did I freeze there, or was that you?
I didn't see you freeze.
Okay.
Something for a second.
But so in baseball, it's part of the game in game. But when you're looking through a TV camera and then banging on a trash can saying, "Hey, here comes a fastball," they know if they know what's coming, they're gonna hit it 90% of the time better than they would if they don't know what pitch is coming next. This is literally just analyzing what their signals are and trying to decipher it. It's not our problem that you're not changing your signals. That's the difference. Like, change your signals up. That's what's happening. They're not video recording it. They're just writing down what they see. That's not illegal.
They are video recording it.
Are you sure about this? Because I've been told that they were not.
Yeah, they're on surveillance at multiple games with the phone set up, recording the sidelines. He has like certain games where he was on one sideline and somebody else he bought a ticket was on the opposite sideline, recording both for the entire game, stealing their signals. And then they were showing him on the sideline with like cue cards showing the hand gestures of what they mean. And they would like change a play and he would immediately run over the defensive coordinator's ear and like hold up the card and show him. Like, it seemed really elaborate and that they were putting a lot of effort into it. And I feel like the stuff coming out today was that they were just really shoveling onto the one guy's shoulders, and there's no way it was just that one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking the heat for sure.
Yeah. His
telling
manifesto, it was all him.
Yes, but you're telling me that there's not a single other team that does this. Like,
oh, yeah.
Every team does this.
Yeah. It's the same thing as paying players. Everybody has been doing it for forever, but if
Yeah.
you get caught.
Yeah, if you get caught, it's one thing, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, I guarantee you what it's going to end up doing is you're going to go and back and look at videos and you're going to find 10 other big schools that are doing the same thing. Like, people will get ratted out at this point. Like, that's what this is going to lead to.
I'm just saying, vacate the wins, no playoff berth.
Okay. I see where you're fixing on that.
On the program. I want it all.
Listen,
I don't think they're going to go that harsh with it. I think they're going to slap on the wrist.
As someone who has just recently defeated actual cheaters, known cheaters, it's so much sweeter when you just beat them, even though they cheat. You know, as someone that has just recently done that last week, so it is sweet. So yeah, I get it, but let's just beat them.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest question mark is how's the playoff committee going to view them if like the evidence comes out.
Yes,
is it
that's true.
Affect that?
That will affect. I bet you that does. Well, I say that, but actually, I feel like the people that vote don't even watch the games. Are probably watching more the news than they are the games, and so I think that may affect it. Yeah. I bet you it does, especially like just kind of this day and age. Like, I don't know, maybe.
They asked Coach Prime about it. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And basically all he said, I didn't listen to the whole thing, but basically all he says is they still got to stop it.
Yeah.
Like they may know exactly what's coming, but they still got to stop us.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get
Sure.
your point for sure. You still got to stop the play. There's a lot of moving pieces. I think they're going to get off pretty light. I think it's that guy. I think is going to take the fall for it. But it's interesting, man. Harbaugh's had some kind of sketchy things happen during his tenure there at
I mean,
Michigan.
Harbaugh got suspended 4 games for buying a hamburger. This seems a lot worse than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Valid.
For a hamburger.
So,
We'll see what comes out. I
knows?
mean, I think they're going to continue to talk about it for a while now, as they do this investigation. It's just crazy that it hit in the middle of Michigan's best season in a long time.
Yeah. Y'all think Harbaugh is gone after this year? Is he going to the NFL?
I think he sticks around.
Really? Okay.
I don't see. I don't know. He's done it before. I don't know that he goes back to that world. I don't know though. He could.
I think
You
he's
never
gone
know.
in the next 2 years.
I think
I
if he wins
wouldn't
a
be surprised at all
championship-
if he's gone after this year.
If he wins a championship, I could see him leaving, but I don't see them winning a championship this year. But
Yeah.
Not after everybody changes their call signals.
Did you see the Pat McAfee show when they last week they had the Ohio State coach on and they brought out the fake the Lou Holtz to address him after his post game press conference on the field.
I saw a picture of it, but I didn't actually watch the video.
It was funny.
pretty funny,
He
yeah.
actually he took it really well. Like it was funny to watch, and it was funny to just kind of hear him explain everything after he spoke about it and all that. But it was good. I enjoyed that. I love Pat McAfee.
Oh, he's great, dude. I love that. Watch
That
that
show's
rise.
great.
Wow.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, you guys got anything else?
I don't think so, man.
I don't think so
All right,
this week.
Well, big game this week. We'll figure out what time we want to record. It'll either be Sunday or it'll be Thursday. I'll be in Arizona for the Rangers winning the World Series in Game 5. So after that, we'll be enjoying and we'll be partying. So with that being said, big game against BYU. Let's go get them. Go Maliek Murphy. Hook 'em, boys.
Murphy. Look at me.
See you guys.